Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and another Monday Mix. Today is the 22nd of September. Now there's nothing events wise that are coin related I could find, so that won't be on the agenda today. But I'm actually recording this on the 22nd of September. Normally I pre-record it on a Saturday or a Sunday, but I have actually done some pre-editing, so that'll be okay. And hopefully this will be up in time for the 5 o'clock slot on Monday the 22nd. So what we're going to do instead, well, firstly we'll have a look at some information that's come out from the Royal Mint. Now I've actually obtained this information from the gov.uk because the Royal Mint have yet to update their own website regarding their latest annual accounts. So they've finally been published for the period 1st of April 24 to the 31st of March 25, and it doesn't make good reading, folks. Now, as I said, I did actually obtain this information from the Government UK website. So the Royal Mint in that period made a colossal £36.3 million loss in the period, compared to a loss of £4.3 million on the previous financial year. The total revenue was actually down from previous financial year as well by £37.1 million. There are a few reasons behind this loss. I'm not going to go into every single detail, but the Royal Mint revenue from currency sales, that is money received from overseas companies for the Royal Mint to produce coins for them, reduced by £35.3 million. As most of you are aware, since the end of 2024, the Royal Mint no longer strike currency for overseas markets, mainly due to less cash being used. The Royal Mint also had redundancies in certain areas of their business, which is where the increased loss in exceptional items comes from, as they commenced a right-sizing initiative plan. That basically means restructuring and streamlining their business, cutting costs, reducing the workforce, and amalgamating some areas into one. For instance, the commemorative coins and collector services are now going to be one entity called the Collector Division. In addition, remuneration to the executive management team received large increases. Anne Jessup, for example, saw her remuneration rise from £364,000 in the previous financial year to £413,000 in this period. That does actually include pension benefits. So that is an increase of £49,000 in the year. Obviously, the cost of raw materials needed to make the coins rose, and these were passed on to the consumer. In fact, we saw a few price increases across all the ranges. This in turn led to consumers deciding when and what to buy, and so consumer revenue decreased by £38.3 million from the previous year to £97.5 million. This was offset by an increase in precious metal sales, gold, silver, platinum, etc., of £34.3 million to £1.184.4 billion. But the report seemed to suggest it was partly the consumer's fault that the Royal Mint had made a loss, citing following several years of significant royal events, the market also suffered from collector fatigue, which impacted sales. Now, for me, the only fatigue collectors had was that we were tired of constant price increases, so buyers made their feelings known by not spending as much. Plus the fact household incomes were hit hard by the cost of living rises, so consumers had to decide whether to buy a nice shiny coin or do they ensure that they can afford to put food on the table or keep a roof over their heads. Anyway, on the subject of coin prices, I've noted that the latest 50p BU packs are £15 now, which is 30 times the face value of the coin. £2 bond packs are £18, 9 times the face value. Some are actually a little bit more. And a couple of the latest £5 BU packs releases a £17.50, which is 3.5 times the face value. So that means that the £5 BU packs are cheaper than some of the £2 BU packs. Now, not all the prices are as high as this, as I've noticed that there's been a 20% discount on quite a number of previously issued coins, mainly from 2024. The National Gallery, for instance, is now at a reduced £14. The Snowman 2024 is now at £12. Gruffalo's Child, that is down to £12. And even some of the coloured commemoratives are also 20% discounted. For example, the Woolly Rhinoceros, the Gruffalo's Child, it's now at £20, down from £25, as is the 2024 Snowman. Some of the £5 coins are also reduced. I noticed the Tudor Beasts and the Myths and Legends, they've actually been reduced down to around £14. There are many more savings to be had, so if you have a gap in your collection, you might want to check the Royal Mint site out just to see if you can save some money. There were 52,851 visitors who made it to the Royal Mint experience for the period 1st of April 24 to the 31st of March 25, which is an average of nearly 145 people a day. Now, those visitors would have included the strike on the D-Day coin. In total, there was over 6,000 D-Day commemorative pieces issued, and that would have been not necessarily the strike on the day coin, but ones that we issued at a later date as well. But finally, there was another thing that I noticed. It said that due to the number of coins that were in circulation, there was no request by the Treasury to put any further coins into circulation. But then the report goes on to say that the 2023 £1 coin was issued into circulation, an initial mintage of 2.975 million. That actually went into circulation on the 20th of August 2024. In total, there's going to be just over 10 million and 30,000 to be precise. So how is it that the report is saying that there was no coins requested by the Treasury, but then they decided to put nearly 3 million of £1 coins into circulation? Anyway, that's the rant over today. We'll have a look at some coins now, should we? Well, firstly, in my change, I've got this. As you can see, it's dated 2021, and this is the very first one that I've ever found in the wild, the Royal Shield 20 pence. As you can see there, it's going to be a mintage of 19,600,000. And I'm just wondering whether they're starting to empty the long store with some of the Queen Elizabeth coins, because recently I've had a 2021 and a 2022 £1 coin, and I've heard that some people have now started to receive the 2022 50 pences, so keep your eye out open for that. So anyway, with that in mind, we'll pop this into this big album. Now this one I've got £2 coins in and 20 pences, so we'll start off with the old style £2 coins. There was 7 of those, including the UEFA Euro Championship ones that were held in England in 1996. And then I've got some, they're both the same date, but one was a circulated variety and one was out of a BU pack. So I've got, I think I've got nearly all the £2 coins up to date, I think. Don't think I have any gaps apart from the Britannias for 21 and 22. Can't even remember what that one is. I've a gap in this one here for some reason, and I don't know why. Never mind. It might be. I think it's got something to do with an Army Centenary, because I think there was one that's a rotation. Yeah, it's a rotation one. I've taken it out and I forgot to put it back in. So anyway, the £2 coins, like I said, just need them Britannias that were supposedly going into circulation. I mean, I do have them in BU, as you can see. and they're up to date, well, nearly up to date, because I've got another one to go in. That's the Modern Railways one. So we've got the 20 pences at the back, and the gap there is for that one. And again, there's a couple of gaps because I haven't got the 2025 one yet. Those puffins there are the BU ones. We probably aren't going to be seeing a 2024 in circulation. I have a funny feeling that that 24 set is nearly all going to be not intended for circulation. By the way, I do apologise for any sun that's actually getting on the mat. It's a bit bright in here. So as I mentioned, there's going to be another £2 coin going into that album, and it's this one that I've received from Change Checker, the RRS Discovery. I keep calling it the RSS Discovery, but it's RRS, which stands for Royal Research Ship. So this was done by Gary Breeze. You can see his initials there just at the stern of the ship. Then we've got two penguins there on the left on some sort of ice floor. The whale tail sticking out of the ocean. A depiction of the Antarctic territory in the lower half of the coin. And then of course we've got the Discovery itself. Now the Discovery is currently in Dundee as a museum. Initially launched in 1901, captained by Robin Falcon Scott, and I believe Ernest Shackleton was aboard as well. But I didn't get a trading card of that one, oddly. The next one is the latest £5 coin with the Queen's portrait on, which was done by Mary Gillick. So this is going to be a 5 coin set in total. Oddly, they're all going to be dated 2026. So I mean, we're only just about halfway through September, and we've already got another 2026 coin. Obviously we had the Year of the Horse the other week, which obviously the Chinese Lunar Year starts in February next year, so that's why it's dated 2026. But this one here, I think they're going to make the whole lot 2026. I think we've got 3. I think we might have 3 coins this year and 2 next year. Now, regarding the design, which was actually done by Gordon Summers, I quite like the design. I mean, my favourite portrait is the Arnold Mackem one, but this was done by Mary Gillick. But in a way, it reminds us of like a large speaker behind the Queen's head. And in some respects, it reminds us of the 007 coins and the £2 coin of the Florence Nightingale, you know, the pie chart ones. But the thing that really lets it down is the edge inscription, because it sort of fades into the coin and you can't really see it very well. You have to sort of tip it at a certain angle. But portrait of a Queen, and then we've got 1953 to 1967. As I said, it is very, very hard to see. But that one I did get a scratch card with. So I'll just use this little envelope that it came in. Oh, hopefully it's not going to be another slave trade. Oh, we've got a Commonwealth, England, 650,500 if I remember rightly. Right, let's have a look and see what the specs say. So it was actually done by Matthew Bonacorsi. Obverse designer was Ian Rank Broadley. Key facts: each of the 4 2002 Commonwealth Games £2 coins central cameo features a different flag for the 4 constituent countries of the UK, and this one obviously represents England. So That's a new one for me. Thankfully, not another slave trade. And I think we'll just leave it at that today. I was going to do a few well coins, but it was going to be taking far too long for the rest of the video. So anyway, thank you for watching, and until the next time, keep on hunting, enjoy yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.